Alright, in this video I'm going to be installing a direct mount baffle trim recessed pot light in my basement staircase because there is no light in that basement staircase, which I believe is code these days, but maybe at the time the house was built it was not a requirement. Anyway, these things slot in pretty easily in existing drywall, so it's not that difficult to do. You do have to do some cutting in the drywall, and it comes with a device box. The box has a bit of an extension cord, cable, whatever, that extends out to the pot light, and then the pot light and the device box sort of screw together with an extension cable. Now, there's wings on this thing. It's kind of like a mouse trap on either side of the pot light, and that holds it into the drywall, and I found that it holds it in very well. Just opening up the device box, you could see you could run a series of lights. So you could plug in up to 3 wires into the hot, the neutral, as well as the ground, and that's assuming you don't do morettes or anything like that. And you could adjust the color of the light to a reddish kind of color, really yellow I guess, and then to a really intense whitish blue, which I really hate. It's just not my favorite version of a light. I like sort of in between, I guess, the white and the yellow. And in the box you get a template, and I'm going to use obviously the one that goes with the light, which is the 4-inch cutout, but if you have a larger light then you just obviously cut out the 6-inch circle instead of the 4-inch, so I just got to break out some scissors and cut that out. And the first one I did, I put it right in the middle, and what I found, I did some speculative drilling with a very small drill bit, and I found right down the center there is a 2x4, so what I did was I just moved it a little bit closer to the stairs, which works better anyway. It puts a little bit more light on the stair portion of the stairwell, which is probably preferred, and that's not a big deal that it's just slightly off-centered. And to get this thing started, obviously I traced out the 4-inch circle on the ceiling with a pencil, and then I took a utility knife or a box cutter, traced out the circle that I first did with the pencil, and I've never really used this drywall saw that I've had for about 15 years, so I figured now was a good time to use it. And it worked well. Obviously it gets a lot of drywall dust all over the place. Now, to get this cable through, I did have to do some cutting. So there's a floor from the first floor of my house in here. So I'm just sort of figuring out how deep I have to go. So I cut a small hole at the top, and that's so I could feed the electrical cable down from the hole that I cut in the ceiling. And obviously it's now going to have to go through the floor where the plywood comes over, and then I also need to go through the top plate of the 2x4 wall. So I've already patched everything back up, and obviously I just used a drill to reach in and drill through the floor, and then I reached up, I guess in this case, and drilled upwards through the top plate of the 2x4 wall that's in the basement. And then from there I just sort of ran the cable out to the existing light that the switch at the top of the stairs turns on and off. So there is a light at the bottom of the stairs. I just ran the wires for this light over to that. So obviously I did have to do some cutting in the drywall, but I'll patch that up later and it won't be part of this video. Now really this is very easy to put together. I just stripped the wires, made sure there's an appropriate amount of copper sticking out, and these push and wire connectors are super easy. Basically the black went to the black, the white to the white, and the bare copper to the bare copper. Obviously, if you're going to do any wiring, make sure you understand how your electrical system in your house is set up and follow any appropriate codes. And as mentioned, I did pick an in-between color for the light. I don't like the super bright white, nor do I like the super orange color. And to snap the light into place, obviously, is turn the wings back, insert them into the hole that you cut, and then push everything in, and they snap down quite aggressively. And you can see I do have 3 holes in my wall that I'm going to have to patch up now, but not a big deal. And I do have videos on that that'll link in the description. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.